Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Pastor Bruce. Welcome to amvoice.net, one man's voice. Today, I want to talk to you about this college professor out in Fresno State University that just spewed nothing but hate speech about Mrs. Barbara Bush and the family. This, ladies and gentlemen, is pathetic. She is a professor. She's supposed to be highly educated. But look at what she does. Spews hate speech. Now, everybody says, well, we have a right to freedom of speech. Absolutely you do. I defended that for 20 years as a military member, serving in the United States Air Force to protect and defend the Constitution. Part of the Constitution is freedom of speech. Yes, you have a right to freedom of speech, but you don't have a right to be irresponsible in your speech, and you don't have a right to spew hate speech. And that's exactly what she did. And that's what we have to stop in this country. And it's the liberal left that is spewing the hate that's coming out today. They're the ones that are complaining that they're using derogatory terms against the right and the conservatives and the Christians. Now, I even spoke up against that pastor that was running around to funerals spewing hate speech about gay people at the funerals of fallen heroes. They don't have a right to hate speech. And for Christians, which this woman obviously isn't, we know that the first commandment of Jesus Christ is to love one another. And when you spew hate speech, and when you are spewing derogatory remarks about a person, that's not being Christian in any way, shape, or form. And that's not showing the godly love that Jesus asks us to show. The same love that the Father shows to us. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that the liberal left is trying to destroy this country and make us a socialist nation. You see, for you millennials, you don't understand this because you haven't been around that long. But I've been around since the 50s. And I've seen how the attack on the American way of life, how socialists and communists hate capitalism because it works. It works. Do people get rich? Yes, people get rich. So to offset that, what do they come up with? The lottery program. Well, let's get the poor people rich. No, that's not the case. Because it's easier for you to get struck by lightning than it is for you to win the lottery. What they do is take more money out of your pockets. And nobody questions the lottery system and who actually gets the money. Okay? I remember I was doing play cards, cash word. $1 for 10,000, two for 20,000, $2 for $20,000 cards. Now it's $2 for 10,000. And I played one game that was $1. The lottery was $1. Now lottery doesn't mean anything anymore. It's the red ball and the other one. And I was playing the other one. And that went up to $2. So they're greedy. They're selfish. They want more and more, and they're taking a little bit out of your pockets. Nothing wrong with that if you think that you're really going to win and you want to keep trying. But the fact of the matter is, someone's getting rich off of that, and you're paying them for it. Nancy Pelosi goes to sit-ins, the Wall Street sit-in, and supports the individuals against the one percenters, the millionaires. Okay. Then lately she comes out and she says that it's not right that people should have so much wealth and others should not. But does anybody bother to look at the fact that she is a multimillionaire? She's part of the one percenters, and she's saying this garbage to get you stirred up against so that we can destroy the businesses in this country, because capitalism is the way to go. She's been successful because of capitalism. Her and her husband have been successful. The Clintons, the Obamas, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Loretta Lynch, Maxine Waters, crybaby Chuck Schumer have all profited very well from capitalism and the way capitalism is set, but they want to destroy it. They want to bring it down. They want socialism in this country, and they want to do away with the capitalist system. Now, for you millennials who probably weren't taught, the Cold War, during that time period, Russia was spewing propaganda about how capitalism was bad. Yet who lost the Cold War? Because they couldn't keep up. They couldn't make the money necessary. Capitalism is a great way to go, and so is the democratic republic that we live in. But the liberal left don't want that. The liberal left, the one percenters, the ones that are making $100,000 or more a year, college professors, actors, actresses, members of Congress. Now, you can write all the regulations you want against businesses to keep them. You can write saying that a business owner can't make more than $200,000 a year or $500,000 a year. And anything over that has to go back into the business or has to hire other people. You can write all sorts of laws. But they don't want to do that. What they want to do is bring it down. So it's sad. It really is. And it's loudmouths like this college professor who think just because she's tenure, she can get away with saying what she wants to say, and nothing's going to happen. Bobby Kahn, the spokesman, said this is horrific, her speech. And let's not punish the students. We're not punishing the students by holding back on our donations to that school. We're not. She's punishing the students by showing the ignorance of her profession. She's an English professor, too, by the way. She's showing her ignorance and her hatred for the American people. And the college keeping her aboard and trying to support her is also showing that they support hate speech. And we can't have that. She needs to go. Just like the high school teacher who spewed a whole bunch of hate speech about the military. And since I'm on that right now, understand this. I believe in free speech. I've said that before. But he's in a classroom trying to mold the minds of tomorrow's generation. And he sits there and says that the individuals who go into the military aren't academics. Well, guess what? Neither was he at 18 years old. He was no better than they were. No better. They chose a profession. I chose a profession, the military. And I was successful, and many people are successful at the military. And look at what happens to us. My son is a teacher. Spent years in the military, 4 years in the military. Got out, got his degree, and became a teacher. Oh my gosh, but he wasn't an academic at 18. We have other military members that are teachers, businessmen, firemen, policemen, all civil servants helping the American people. Thank you, military, for giving them the opportunity to do this. But loudmouths who spew hate speech destroy the ability for young people to make the proper decision to get a life in the future. How many kids will turn away from the military because of that individual? And those kids probably could use it. When I was in, we had a board where we met young airmen and we asked them questions to see who was airman of the month or airman of the quarter, airman of the year. And in this one, the captain turned to several of the individuals and said, "Why did you come in the military?" I thought that was rather an odd question. But do you know what they came in for? The majority of them? Discipline. There was no discipline at home. They didn't want to stay where they were at because they knew they wouldn't succeed, so they needed the discipline to succeed. That's what the military is about, people. It's not a social club. Okay? I had a friend that wrote something on Facebook I can call that up, and we'll take a look at it. But it isn't. It's not a social club. It's not a way for people to get sex change operations. Okay, that's not what it's for. It's a dictatorship. Military's always been a dictatorship, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it is. Because you need to have a dictatorship in the military in order to ensure that you have the discipline necessary to go to war. Plain and simple. I'm having difficulty finding the article. A very interesting article that he posted. It's about transgender not being allowed to get into the military. And basically, what it comes down to is that who is? Okay, here we go. This is what he posted. Trey Gowdy said just a few things about the military in response to a stupid question from CNN. This is the tweet, the email I got. Question from CNN reporter about the ban of transgenders. And he nails it. Nobody has the right to serve in the military. Nobody. What makes people think the military is an equal opportunity employer is very far from the truth. We're not. It isn't. The military uses prejudice regularly and consistently to deny citizens from joining for being too old, too young, too fat, too skinny, too tall, too short. Citizens are denied for having flat feet or for missing or additional fingers. Poor eyesight will disqualify you, as well as bad teeth, malnutrition, drug addiction, bad back, criminal history, low IQ, anxiety, phobias, hearing damage, 6 arms, hear voices in your head, self-identity as a unicorn, need a special access ramp for your wheelchair, can't run that required course in the required time, can't do the required number of push-ups, not really a morning person, and refuse to get out of bed before noon, all can be reasons for denial. Do you understand that? It's a dictatorship, people. You choose to go into a dictatorship. He goes on to say, the military has one job, war. Anything else is a distraction and the liability. Did someone just scream, that isn't fair? War is very unfair. There are no exceptions made for being special or challenged or socially wonderful. You challenge yourself to meet military standards, not the other way around. I say again, you don't change the military. You must change yourself. The military doesn't need to accommodate anyone with special issues. The military needs to win wars. I think that is the most profound thing ever said. And I've seen it. I've sat there and watched young ladies just yell and scream at senior NCOs because they think that because they're a woman, they can get away with it. There's no such thing as gender in the military. It's called rank. You are an airman, you'll conduct yourself like an airman. You're a sergeant, you'll conduct yourself like a sergeant. And there's no hate speech. You may want to say something, but you can't because you know what's going to happen. You're going to lose your job if you continue to spew hate speech. You can't be political because if you're political, you'll lose your job. We don't have time to have people who are spewing out political advice or condemning the political party, because one of the things is whether you're Democrat or Republican, one day the leader may be the opposite party, and you have to obey the orders of the President of the United States. We have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who have been disciplined and who have been aged and matured by the military, and who have been successful by the military standards. And because of that, we can't have people like this college professor spewing hate in this country. We want unity, don't we? How can we have unity when the liberal left spew hate, when the liberal left spew discrimination, and they spew all sorts of nonsensical information about the right? That's not bringing us together, and they don't want us to come together because they want socialism in this country. The question is, do you want socialism? I wait to hear your answer. This is Pastor Bruce. Thank you very kindly for listening. God bless. Have yourself a great day.